I took 1.5 scoops of pre-workout as I normally do and went outside for a run on a particularly hot day. At the end of the run, I felt weak and my chest was clenching with pain. Upon arriving at the gas station to get a Gatorade, I realized something wasn't right. I stumbled inside and grabbed the shirt of an attendant to say, "Please stay with me, I don't think I'm okay." My body was shaking, my vision narrowed, and the pain grew nearer. They gave me some water and talked with me to calm down. Eventually, I felt well enough to go to my parents' house while my girlfriend was away just to be around someone. After half an hour at my parents', nothing was better, and I realized I may actually be dying. My heart rate had not slowed down, my breath was shortening, and my chest felt like it was collapsing. I calmly looked at my mother and suggested, "Alright, I believe now is the time we go to the emergency room." We pull up to the ER and I stumbled inside the same way you would if you were drunk. I politely tell the receptionist, "I need to be seen in some short while as I am having what must be a heart attack." She hands me a form to fill out, which I make it about a third of the way through. My mind isn't cooperating and I have no strength to write anything down. The portion where it asked for my name was chicken scratch and I could not for the life of me remember my birthday. She motioned someone to come collect me from the back urgently, but I was too embarrassed to go with them without having properly filled out a simple form. No, let me fill out another one." They waited kindly with worried looks until I dropped the pen and said, "Well, we'll just have to do this later." When I get back to the ER, I am writhing in pain. Nothing is lowering my heart rate. Some punk comes in asking if I would like to pay all at once for a discounted price or on a monthly basis. I ask him if we can please consider these things later. About 2 hours pass and a few injections of something or another later. They tell me I'm fine, but I have a fairly rare heart condition called Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, which had been excited by the stimulants and could have ended very poorly. I had taken pre-workout my entire life and had never known how close I always was to death. The doctor explained, until my surgery, every time I take stimulants like that, I'm flipping a coin on my life. So, while I am an unusual case, I encourage everyone to reconsider taking such supplements and to not be so concerned with properly filling out the welcome form when going to the emergency room. TLDR, took pre-workout, went on a run, went to the ER, found out I have WPW and may have died of sudden cardiac arrest if I wasn't treated. I was hospitalized yesterday after I took a pre-workout and went to lift. Had serious chest pain during the first couple sets, and then it became much more serious. I ended up going to the hospital and found out I was having a fucking heart attack. I'm 26 and in pretty decent health, no heart attack incidents in my family. I'm sending this from the goddamn ICU. Be careful out there, bros. So this story starts about a week ago. I was doing some research on pre-workout supplements, mostly looking to combine my morning coffee and my current pre-workout mixture. I picked one and ordered it. Unbeknownst to me, it has double the caffeine I usually get at my morning coffee. It had 200 milligrams. I was very excited to see how it went and used this pre-workout powder for the first time today. It tasted okay, but I felt the caffeine coursing through my veins, so I was ready to work out. It was a leg day today, so I started my warm-up on the bikes. My stomach was churning, almost talking to me, trying to tell me, "Please stop while you have your dignity." I, for some reason, ignored this totally reasonable request from my stomach and continued on. I got to my workout and I was feeling good. The pre-workout was working well, and it was going well. That was until I got to squats. I started on lower weight, getting the same feeling as I got on the bike, but stronger. I brushed it off as a side effect of the pre-workout yet again. Ignoring all signs my body gave me, I put on my regular weight. Before getting into it, the feeling changed to a deep desire to quit while I was ahead. However, this wasn't an uncommon feeling in the gym at 6 a.m., so I ignored the last warning my body would give me. I got into my routine, picked up my weight, and got down on my first squat. As soon as I got to the bottom, the emotion I can only describe as immense regret and crippling anxiety suddenly filled my mind. It was at this point when every muscle in my asshole that I worked years on strengthening failed me. I shit myself right there and then, at the bottom of my squat. And it wasn't something you'd hear and not understand what it was. It sounded a lot like what I imagine a bomb implanted in a squirrel going off sounds like. Like every internal organ was trying its best to get out of the blast zone. Everyone immediately knew what happened and took a look at the guy who shit himself at the squat rack. With all eyes on me, I waddled my ass in immense shame to the bathrooms. This was the longest 30 seconds of my life, and I now understand what it might have felt like to be Hitler walking out of a room. And as a cherry on top of this experience, I discovered I forgot my extra pair of underwear. So I learned 2 lessons today. First, always test supplements before going straight into working out. Second, if your body is telling you no, don't let your fucking mind tell you yes. TLDR, I took too much pre-workout, ignored my body no less than 3 times, and shit myself at the squat rack. If you're enjoying this video so far, please give it a like and subscribe if you're new. That's all I gotta say. Let's go to the next story. Today I decided that I would try pre-workout to try and give me that extra bit of motivation in the gym and hit some new PRs. It would suffice to say that I did not hit any of them. In fact, I almost blacked out mid-workout and thought I was going to die. A bit of background. I don't drink coffee or energy drinks, and I took MyProtein's Pre-Workout Plus, which includes 300 milligrams of caffeine, 3.6 beta-alanine, and 6.3 of L-citrulline. Around 30 minutes after I took it, I got the expected itches and was feeling generally pumped for the workout. However, after really exerting myself on squats, I noticed that I felt really lightheaded and my vision was going blurry. Me being an idiot, I continued to exert myself to the max, and after almost falling asleep in between sets, I knew something was wrong. Suddenly, I felt extremely confused. I was sweating buckets, and in a dazed state, I tried to leave the gym and put in my PIN number to get some fresh air. I was standing there for about 5 minutes, randomly pressing numbers on the keyboard it felt like, and it kept declining over and over again. Whilst this was happening, I felt incredibly sick and felt the urge to vomit, and at this point I was shitting myself, figuratively of course, and my ears started popping and it felt like I became temporarily deaf. One of the workers then came over, seeing that something was wrong, and I didn't feel like talking even slightly, but told him I felt fucked up and needed some fresh air, and he opened the door for me. What followed was 30 minutes of pain while I waited outside for everything to feel normal again. My main concern is, did this happen purely because I have a low caffeine tolerance and it took on an empty stomach, or do I have some condition which caused this to happen? Either way, I'm going to try taking a half scoop next time and eating a hearty breakfast. I urge all of you to be careful with pre-workout since I do not wish that on anyone. TLDR, took pre-workout and felt like I almost died. I highly recommend that people, if they're going to use pre-workout, to take half scoops just to see how your body will react. I had just come home from buying GAT Nitroflex and went to go work out. I have always used C4 in the past and have been using 2 scoops of C4 for the past year. I was on the phone when I was scooping my pre-workout and I scooped 2 scoops of Nitroflex, did not mean to, and drank it. The taste was so strong and I realized I scooped 2 scoops. I had a great workout at 8 p.m. with the most energy I've ever had in the gym, came back, had my post-workout meal, and then went to bed. I currently am laying here with my heart pounding as my face is pressed to my pillow, forcing myself to sleep. I cannot simply do it, and it's been over 2 hours of me laying in my fucking bed. This is fucking hell. I fucked up. I feel that I'm about to die and might not take pre-workout again. Have you guys fucked up on pre-workout like I just did? Update. I slept for 2 hours and still feel like shit. Chest and heart hurts a shit ton and feel uncomfortable as hell. Might need to go back to C4 or just take a quarter scoop. I had my biggest day at the gym today, chest and triceps. I always take a salt before working out. Today, because I was going to work out longer and harder, I took a serving and a half instead of the normal serving. I went to the gym and started working out. About 20 minutes into my workout, my heart was racing. I was overly sweaty. I felt nauseous. I had a strong pain in my heart, and I was in really bad shape. I ended up going to the hospital only to find out that my heart and blood pressure were almost at stroke levels. I almost didn't even go. The doctor had very strong words against a lot of pre-workouts and also energy drinks in general. Just be careful, people. I learned the hard way that these are no joke. I don't think I will be taking a pre-workout supplement anymore. TLDR, took too much of my pre-workout supplement with bad consequences. Let me preface this by saying I very rarely have caffeine, simply because I'm not allowed to. That's not to say my parents don't let me. I'm 21. It's just that in high school, a specialist told me I have tinnitus because of all the caffeine I used to drink, 1 to 2 cans of Coke a day. Now, whenever I have caffeine, my ears ring for multiple days and it sucks big time. But when I got some new creatine recently, I found a pre-workout sample inside and thought, what the hell, let's see what this is all about. I'm not sure what I expected, but I definitely didn't expect what I got. An extra bit of information. I'm currently doing intermittent fasting, so I had the pre-workout on an empty stomach. Not sure whether that made a difference, but I'm sure it's worth mentioning. I took the pre-workout 25 minutes before I got to the gym to start my workout, leg day. I could feel it kicking in. I put my weight on and started doing my first 5 reps. I felt really good by then and powered through my first set with a lot of energy, but then came my second set. During the last rep of set 2, I was struggling a bit, not uncommon for me, but powered through. I re-racked the weight and noticed I was very lightheaded. I still had a lot of energy and didn't feel tired, but I noticed I was also a little off balance. I shrugged it off, called myself a pussy, and went to do my last set. I failed 3 reps in after noticing the bar was on a 30-degree fucking angle. Still, my energy was through the roof, so I decided to do some push-ups on leg day after failing at squats. Now I've noticed I'm shaking and my heart is beating quite fast. I tell myself that's probably normal, take the weight off the bar and head toward the leg press. My eyes are having a hard time concentrating at this point and I'm still fairly faint, but hey, I still have all this energy, so I decided to put on an extra 20 kilograms for the leg press. I do my 12 reps and notice I'm sweating a lot. Now, I don't usually sweat too much. That's not to say I don't work hard. My body just doesn't produce that much sweat. While some people do squats and come out looking like they had a shower. I usually finish with a damp forehead and underarms at worst, but now I'm sweating like a goddamn madman. I do another set, and now my stomach feels funny. I decided to take off 20 kilograms. I do my final set and fail at 9 reps. I'm going to be honest with you, at this point I'm kinda scared. I re-rack the weight, consider doing my next exercise, shake my head, and power walk the fuck to my car. I get in it, slow my breathing, and try to relax, all the while sweating profusely and swaying back and forth in my seat. I then get a funny feeling in my stomach and pause for a second. I release. I'm about to shit my pants. I get out of the car and power walk as naturally as possible back inside the gym, past the girl behind the desk who's probably wondering why this dude came in looking like $1 million, left 25 minutes later looking like death, and is now waddling back in like a penguin with the fear of God in his eyes, and into the locker room. I slam open the door to a bathroom stall, sit down, and have the most explosive liquid shit I've ever had, and it was loud, really fucking loud. I audibly moaned as it happened. I couldn't help it. I was in there for 20 to 25 minutes with tears in my eyes and moaning as I dropped what felt like a 10 kilogram of body weight, all the while shaking and sweating like a rabbit on crack. Eventually, after I'm confident I have no fluid left in my body, I open the stall, wash my hands, walk past the people getting changed who are wisely avoiding eye contact, walk past the girl at reception who gives me a pleasant, "Have a nice day," which I respond to with what must have been the most forced and frightening smile she's ever received because she immediately looked away. Drive home 10 kilometers under the speed limit, walk into the bathroom, have a shower far too hot for me, crawl into my bed and stare at the ceiling. I can't remember being tired, but I must have fallen asleep because here I am now. I have no idea what caused this. Maybe it was something I ate the day before mixed with the pre-workout. Maybe it was just a bad day. Maybe it was my body reacting badly to that much caffeine. But no matter what it is, I am never doing that again. Ever. I don't care if every doctor in the world says that it was just bad luck. I don't care if there's a 0.001% chance it was the pre-workout's fault. I ain't taking that risk again. I still feel like someone stuck a vacuum up my ass and turned that shit up to 100, and I don't ever want to feel like this again. So yeah, that's my first and fucking last experience with pre-workout. If anyone's had an experience like that before or can offer some insight in exactly what the hell went wrong, please let me know. I'd give this experience a negative 10 out of 10. No drug is safe on this channel, even pre-workouts. This is the type that I'm not really shitting on, I'm just doing it for the pure entertainment purposes. But I still want you to be very careful if you do use this stuff. Most of these stories included taking a lot, so please don't do that. Do a good average dose and that's it, maybe just a little bit more if you really want to, but try not to exceed 2 scoops or even 1. Alright, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll be back, soon. Thank you and have a wonderful day.